Well, he's one of the people on my list.
We got dodgeball playing on the Ocho next door.
That's all right.
You said that movie was 16 years old, and I immediately felt so fucking decrepit.
Yeah, everything. Listen, man. Every time I flip through the dial, that's the most poisonous thing ever. Is that info button, or even on the guide, it'll say what year it was made. Everything is was made so long ago, and I remember like yesterday.
It's funny too because come on, computer, you can do this.
It might have recorded. This will be a. Sometimes the stupid thing just has this like a little hiccup and it won't record for a second or two.
Did it happen with the Fairlow files a lot?
It happens once or twice when I'm not paying attention.
Yeah.
Once or twice I have not recorded the entire thing and then had to call him back. And it makes for a much better episode because it basically is just beating me up for the whole episode for not having recorded.
Oh my goodness!
And now it's take two.
It's just funny. It's because you watch a movie and you're like, oh man, wow, this is great movie. You look at the time, you're like, oh fuck, this was 20 years ago.
It's like it, and I just rebooted it.
Yeah.
I try to boot it up right before we do this so that
it's fresh.
Yeah, hasn't been doing a gazillion things. Have all its memory like fucked up, but maybe maybe that's not the answer. I don't know.
Oh shit! It's been raining for 16 straight hours now, Temples?
I don't know. I didn't keep track. It was like yesterday when you were like, "Oh, I got woke up by the rain." I'm like, "What? I didn't even know it was raining."
Oh,
I slept right through all that. I sleep through all that shit.
Yeah, it's summertime.
It's like two things. A, you're like, "Hey, didn't you hear that?" I'm like, "No." But B, it's like you like, "Oh, I just woke up," and I'm like, how'd you sleep till 10 fucking o'clock? My eyes popped open at 7, and that was the end of that.
So did mine. But excuse me. Oh my goodness, that one hit. And then I realized it's fucking Saturday, and I went back to bed.
I try that, but before my head hits the pillow, I've got my phone in my hand.
See, the weird thing is
so then I'm like scrolling and I'm not falling asleep. And
there's this weird thing that happens where I'll wake up, go to the bathroom, and then the wife will go to the bathroom. And we'll lay in bed. We'll both check each other's phones, and I'll just be like, "Oh, it's 7:30, 8 o'clock, or whatever it is." And I'm like, "Oh, maybe." And I have plans. I always have plans on the weekends to do stuff. I always want to try to stay busy. So I'm like, "Oh, maybe I should get up early and do something." She'll just roll over, put her arm across me, and I'm like, "Oh shit, I can't get up," and I just go back to bed.
Right.
The lamest excuse of all time to not get up. That's enough for me.
Yeah, that arm, that 1,000-pound arm.
It feels good to sleep in though, man, because I don't do it very often anymore.
I maybe I'll try tomorrow. Only thing I have to be awake for is Anthony's 11 o'clock announcement live on TikTok.
Oh no. What is that?
Today he made an announcement about an announcement.
Oh, I fell into that trap.
Well, I've been under the gun to get the website up to start selling T-shirts.
Yeah.
So the announcement, since this airs Monday, it doesn't matter, is going to be that we have the website up and we'll have the first 2 designs up. Now I have to fucking deliver because if it's not good to go at 11 o'clock when he announces it, the announcement will be that on Monday the shirts will be for sale.
I'm sure his TikTok following will be angry at him.
Well,
for not being able to purchase his merchandise.
Oh no, they'll be mad at me. He is always making sure they know where to direct the anger to. I think I've already got a message about. They're like, we want to start the official Breakfast Club fan club, and he's like message Ben about it. So he's already sending me all.
That's fantastic.
All this shit work, and he.
You're the administrator,
but he's created this persona for me because I've kind of made it a point to monitor his live. It while I'm listening to what this fucker's saying on TikTok. And I have to kind of, because he'll like start over committing and start talking about how we're going to have fucking beach towels and keychains. And
yeah, he fills up that merch store pretty quick.
And I'm like, that's great, man, but you ain't going to be doing any of the work.
Yeah, what's this we shit? Yeah. You ain't French.
Right. He's the pitch man. He's the guy who goes for 30 seconds on TV, slap chop, bang, bang, bang. And then some asshole has to pack and ship that stuff. Yeah, exactly. Make it.
And you're the asshole.
I am always the asshole. So because I've been like kind of like moderating him and pissing in his punch bowl sometimes, he has now created me as a grumpy old persona. Like whenever there's an excuse, it's because of Ben. He's grumpy and old. Yeah, and I'm like thinking, what the fuck, man?
God damn, man. See some fucking tire treads on you, man.
I know, all across my back. Then I flipped over, and while we made eye contact, he did it right up the front too.
He doesn't want you to forget your place, sir.
I don't know what my place is, or how he has anything to do with it.
I'm sure. If I know AJ, his plan is market merchandise. Ben does the rest. Profit.
Yeah, it's that list. Like 1, idea. 2, question mark. 3, cash checks.
Yep.
You know?
That's exactly what it is. 3 is Ben does things.
Yeah.
That's as long as you take your cut off the top, sir.
I'm taking a cut off the top and the bottom, and maybe a slice right down the middle.
Fuck me, man, dude. I'm still like, I don't know why I'm so draggy.
I don't know, because you're bullshit.
My monster here.
You've been bullshit all week. You've been bullshit all week with your dragon. And I'm like, this guy just had like extra days off and the whole deal. And then Friday you got your little pay bump, so you should have been skipping on in here with like flowers growing out your butthole.
I just spent my pay bump.
Yeah, at least.
Thank you, America.
Yeah, but whatever. But you were at least able to pay your bills.
I was able to pay my bills, and I am #blessed.
Oh, Jesus Christ. I want to talk about a couple of things.
All right.
The first thing is, do you remember what happened yesterday? Early in the day?
What are we referring to?
When I was like, Marco, before we get started working.
Oh my goodness.
Let's go grab some drinks and something to eat.
Oh no. Oh yeah. Okay, so are we motherfucking 7-Eleven now?
7-Eleven is dead to me.
I by the way,
from now on,
I was looking up. I was trying to search like last night. I was just bored for like 2 seconds, and I'm like, and I thought about it. I'm like, let me research where is all the national? Where's the coins going? Where's the exact change?
You're jumping ahead.
Oh,
man.
Okay.
Holy shit! All
right.
Way to fucking
like. Well, they don't even know.
Way to read the last page of the book, dude.
Margaret's waiting for us to finish this conversation. So
damn it.
All right, go ahead.
What
all right.
Fuck are you it's like it's your first podcast.
All right, I'm sorry.
Instead of like your 26.
I didn't mean to. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's about right.
Mm-hmm. No, I know because again, Ben does all the work, so he knows exactly how many there are.
But the last step is profit, so who cares what comes before that?
I'm waiting to get to that step. You know how big that step is? Like a stone on the fucking pyramid in Egypt. I don't know if my leg will reach. So of course I would never, because I'm a cultivated, civilized man of the world. I would never suggest to go specifically to a 7-Eleven for anything in my life, unless you want to use your EBT card to buy fucking hot dogs off the roller. But of course Marco is not a discriminating person, even though because of his intestinal issues he should be. And we are at 7-Eleven instead of like a Quality Wawa
we weren't. I think
I
don't think we were close to either.
No, you just hit the first right as soon as. Okay, let me set a bigger picture.
I tend to do things.
Here's what happens.
Okay.
When I'm in the truck with Marco at work, I'll go, let's stop somewhere. I got to pee or I need a drink or whatever. Okay, yeah, sure. And like literally 10 seconds later, he's forgotten about it. And then like a half hour later, I'm like, hey man, are we ever gonna fucking hit somewhere? And oh man, I'm so sorry. Yeah. And then it's like you literally bang the first right into the most shit with the least amount of options, like a Marathon gas station, any place where you have to get a key and the bathroom's outside? No. Okay. Number 2.
And the door's kind of like half creaky. Looks like it's trying to be pulled off.
Like there's some guy pissing next to the fucking drop-off box right out front. No. But that's Marco's favorite pullovers. So I go, 7-Eleven never
You're
has.
a dude who pees in a bucket behind the truck. I didn't think you would be that discriminatory.
It's not a bucket.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry.
It's an 8-gallon. Is it 8 gallon or 8 pound? I think it's.
I don't think it's 8 gallons.
No. 8 pound.
Yeah,
it was an 8 pound bottle of hot sauce.
Jesus Christ, an 8-gallon bottle of
No. It was 8 pounds. And it has, why I use it is because, and listen, I learned that you should have a thing in the back of the truck to pee in. This thing is wonderful because the hole at top, when the hole's smaller in your pecker, it makes peeing into something a little more of a risk. But when the thing's more than big enough and you can just slide it all in there.
When we're moving.
There will be, that day will come. But so I do pee in the. Okay. Anyway, so we go to 7-Eleven, and immediately I'm like thinking, oh great, there's probably nothing here I'm gonna want. Like they rarely have the drinks I like. They rarely have any kind of snack I want to eat. But whatever, go in there. I'm looking around. I already glance over, and you're already checking out. You're buying your food. There's like 4 people in line, so I'm waiting. I get up to the register, and she's like, "You paying with cash or a credit card?" I go, "Cash." And she goes, "Oh, it's exact change only." And I blinked and shook my head, looking at her, and kind of like I did, like doing that. I didn't just hear that, did I? And I'm like, "What?" And she goes, "It's exact change only." And she gave some weird explanation that didn't make any sense. So much nonsense that I don't remember it. It was like in one ear out the other. And I'm like, wait a minute. And I'm like thinking, well, how am I gonna know what they have, what I want, how much it's gonna add up to, and have that on me?
The day the coin purse has returned, sir.
And so, so I'm like, well, ring it up. Let's see what I got.
Yeah.
I was like, if we were within the round off of $1,
you were
one way or the other, I was
sacrifice.
like, whatever. If I was, whatever. I'm buying $8 worth of food. If it's $8.50 and I lose 50 cents, whatever. Let's get the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
Let's just do this. She's like, so I came up with 8, but it was like 8 and change, and I only had a 10 or higher, or like 2 ones.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, I don't have $8. I have $10. And she's like, well, you need exact change. I'm like, I still don't understand why. And I'm like, I can't give you this and you hand me $2. I was like, wait, and I didn't know if the register was broken. Because what she told me, I immediately didn't remember. It was like she was speaking Mandarin to me.
Yeah.
And I didn't understand it, but I didn't want to be rude and make her repeat herself. Yeah. I was just like, oh, whatever. Whatever the reason is, there's a reason. Okay, whatever. I'm like, what the fuck? So I was like, well, I looked up at her. I go, well, I guess I'm not buying this. I slid it towards her, and I turned and walked out. And that's when as I'm walking to the truck, I got nothing in my hands. I got that body language you love, and you're like sitting in the car. The truck, because you had pulled into like the gas.
Yeah, we were sitting.
The pumps.
I was by a pump because there was nowhere to park.
Right.
And I'm sitting there enjoying a delicious bag of bacon jerky, which has become my new favorite thing in the world. And this particular bag was extra tasty. And I see Ben coming out, and he's just got his arms out, and he's like, "Fuck it all!" I'm like, "What happened?" Because I'm the kind of person who's like, hey, I need to get something to drink. I probably should get something to drink. 3.5 hours later, I'll stop in and finally get something to drink. I just have that weird...
That's why you don't pee in a bottle in the back of the truck. You're always dehydrated.
Yeah. So, like, we make... 95% of the stops we make is because of whoever's passenger, whether it be Zach, my brother, or Ben. And so I'm sitting there drinking my Monster, eating my bacon, and Ben just looks like someone just took a shit on his head. And I was like, what happened? Where's your drink? She's like, fuck it, don't care, let's go. And I was like, what? Like who just touched you inappropriately? It was crazy. It was just like, well, it was like you were a pissed off 5-year-old because it was like, all right, well, you want to go to the next one? No, I'm good. Well, do you want to drink? No, I'm good. And I'm like, all right, but it needs to work this out.
No, I was mad.
It needs to work this out.
I was mad, and I wasn't gonna like. Well, also, I was trying to make it about you. I was trying to make it like you picked this place.
You were, and I wasn't gonna bite.
I was like, no, fuck this. You picked this place.
I was not gonna. Bite.
Now I'm not gonna drink just to make you feel bad.
Exactly, because I was like, I'll go in and pay for it. No. And I'm like, all right. I mean, I get it. I get your. Listen, it was almost like a pride thing, but then when I realized what really happened, I was like, oh wow, like yeah. It's and let's be honest, those two young ladies weren't the best examples of humanity.
Well, but regardless of what was working behind the counter, there was some rule.
Yeah,
I was like, we're not.
But they could have done a better job of like.
You weren't even there. Don't even talk like you know how they handled the situation.
But I was like 30 feet away.
No, you weren't. You were in a van. You were between. Listen.
Yeah, but that was like
you
30,
were inside a car. Yeah. We were inside a building. The car was not even inside the building.
But in these situations,
so you were like eight stages removed because you'd have to open a door, walk 100 feet, open another door for you to even hear what was going on. If you could have heard what was going on,
I was kind of there.
Fuck out of here.
So then it was just like trying to find us. Like I'm secretly looking up, and I'm like, oh, the Wawa's not far. Let's get into a Wawa. And as we're going to the Wawa, if we were to have a conversation like a Cumberland Farms, because we go Wawa, Cumberland Farms, 7-Eleven is usually how I go. Because anything below a 7-Eleven,
I don't believe you.
Actually, no, I don't even say that. I don't want to say
I don't think you have a pecking order.
My pecking order, and here's my pecking order, because I fucking forgot my 2 other gas stations. My pecking order would be Wawa, Racetrack, Cumberland Farms, Speedway. No, if I actually flip Speedway and Racetrack, I'm high. Because Speedway's the closest one, Racetrack's the other one, yeah. So it's Wawa, Speedway, Cumberland Farms, Racetrack, 7-Eleven, and then so on and so forth. Like the shitty ones, because there's no other really.
7-Eleven is also the field, okay?
But I'm so used. I grew up with 7-Eleven. You know how many times I've had a slushie at fucking 7-Eleven? Like it's like my go-to.
You used to buy comic books off the racks there. I don't care.
Are you just saying it's just gone that far downhill?
It's like a restaurant that is now serving drinks with paper straws. They're dead to me.
It may as well be a Shoney's.
They're dead to me. You're gonna hand me a plastic cup that I can actually even take home with me. That's how disposable this plastic cup is. But you won't give me a plastic straw for it. You're
so mad when they even leave the tip of the paper on the.
This skinny little plastic straw felt off.
So for the
it's got to be proportional to the cup.
So for the ladies out there, Ben prefers a thick plastic straw.
Yeah,
nice and thick, girthy.
Yeah, I need it. I need to be able to suck mass quantities through it, Alex. If I'm working too hard to fill my mouth, then
I felt as if it almost ruined your day. Like it
would have.
I felt
it would have if other things didn't ruin it after.
I feel as if like we had also made it to a Wawa and something peculiar had happened. That would have been it for you.
So let's go back though. So we couldn't really figure out why they were doing exact change. And then I
still don't know.
Well, I kind of figured it out.
Oh.
So when were you part of the group discussion when we were talking about this?
I'm always
they
off
mentioned,
and on.
Yeah. So you're saying no, you weren't.
I was not.
So
even if I participated, I've already forgotten about it.
Right. Well, they were talking about something else, and they were saying how his buddy was telling him. I don't remember who was talking. One of Anthony, or I think it was Anthony. His buddy was talking and saying that they're going to do away with cash transactions altogether in the by like November, December. And I'm like, what? And he's like, yeah, they don't want to be exchanging money all the time. You know, like the handling and the handing off and the germ back and forth of the money. And then I started to click with the 7-Eleven and said, oh, they could, if they take exact change, there's not an exchange back, with that. The germs are only going one way into the register technically. So you're avoiding a lot of the germs going out.
Oh.
Because all those places, I guess, are kind of like germ hubs when you're doing cash transactions.
Yeah.
Money, germs going in, germs going out to someone else.
Yeah, because like the big rumor about like cocaine sitting on a dollar bill or whatever that is. So yeah, like I guess paper money holds on to that kind of shit.
Well, and germs stick to almost anything except I think metal, but for different amounts of time. But I mean, those top bills in the drawer come and go.
Yeah.
So and same thing with the coins.
The dirty ass ones.
So I get it, but that wasn't the explanation I was given, and it's just really going to be fucked up if you can't just pay for things with cash.
So
without having exact change, which I mean, unless you know exactly what you're going and you have a amount, like you go on a website, you go, oh, it's going to cost this much. And here's your tax and whatever. So bring exactly, $6.36
and your coin. But listen, really, all I'm learning out of all of this is we need a Breakfast Club coin purse.
Oh my God!
On the store.
Right, Anthony's at it again, channeling you to promise more products that now I gotta do all the work.
So so physical money is going to become a thing of a past. So when do we jump to Federation credits?
I don't know, but so the conversation was like, yeah, there's a coin shortage. I'm like,
coin shortage.
Like, what does that even mean? A coin shortage?
What is this, 1938?
Who's hoarding coins?
Nobody.
Because it's like all those coins are out there. It's like are children eating them? I don't know. I feel like everyone's little cup holder in their car is over brimming with coins, and nobody's willing to part with them or something. Like, how is what's going on? I don't understand. None of it makes sense.
It doesn't make any sense whatsoever.
The exact change thing doesn't even make any sense.
Yeah.
It's like whatever, man.
Yeah.
It's like I get it. It's there's probably germs on the money.
Yeah.
But the temptation to rub your eye with we can take the handles off of doors. It's the same thing.
It's getting pretty crazy, man.
I mean, not every building can have an automated door.
No. I mean,
so
it's.
So yeah.
One would say we're closing in on full retard.
But anyways, and we are way past full retard. we're bordering on not fully functional.
Just no nervous system whatsoever.
So yeah. So basically, to sum it up, fuck 7-Eleven.
Yeah.
They're
fuck 7-Eleven.
Listen, man, I've gone there way too many times where it's just like first thing is I'm settling.
Yeah.
I'm going in there wanting something, and of course they don't have it. Whether it's the kind of energy drink or some kind of snack or whatever. I'm like, all right, but now that was it. That was the last straw. It was
the last plastic straw.
That was the first paper straw.
Ooh.
Basically.
Oof.
So yeah, so it's. I think, speaking of paper straws, I think we should do, when we're out, because we're out for lunch, 5 days a week. A lot of times we don't go sit down and eat somewhere. But the odd occasions where we sit down in a restaurant and they're bringing food to us, and we should be filming those moments.
The reveal?
What are you, I don't
know.
Plastic. We just ordered our drinks. What's your prediction? Paper or plastic,
There's some TikToks here, man.
Yeah, it's TikToks or Instagram videos or Facebook Lives. Maybe it's a Facebook Live. We're going live.
If we got if
for the reveal on the the whatever, I don't know. Pick a restaurant.
So if AJ, who's becoming, one would say, an influencer.
Oh, he signed up for an app to get deals for influencers today.
Fucking fantastic. Ben, I kid you not, I would love to be able to put influencer under my name on Facebook. It would bring me such joy. Because I hate everything about it so much. But it's like, hey man, now we're making the money. Oh, well, this is fucking great.
No, it'd be like Nobody's impressed you're an influencer. I'm a fucking influencer.
Yeah, nobody's impressed.
If I could be an influencer, then this means nothing.
I don't even care if like Jenner or the fucking Kardashian, whatever the fuck high end fucking social media person it doesn't do anything for me, the influencer. But however, I would love to be able to put that under my name, knowing that somehow, some way, we are profiting off of it.
Not even if it's profiting. I would like it on there just because it would annoy other people.
Yeah, and let's just with the straws. There's enough people out there that are so anti-paper.
You know what?
We're taking off, buddy.
You know what? You should just do it now, but put a question mark. Influencer?
I'll do it right now.
Yeah, because I don't know which. Some apps tell all their friends when you change or update something. So if you go on Facebook and change your occupation to influencer with a question mark, I think, yeah. I mean, maybe you shouldn't do it right now while we're trying to have a conversation.
Oh, damn it! All right,
Yeah,
I was there though.
Yeah, it's all right.
All right. So I'll be a social media influencer within the next couple hours.
Yeah, right. I mean, even if Anthony's the only one of us that actually is, that's fine. I don't.
Well, listen, he puts in the time to do that shit.
He could be the slap chop guy. I don't want to. I'll just be the fulfillment warehouse.
The slap chop guy bit the tongue off a stripper or some shit, didn't he?
Was he also the ShamWow guy?
Yes,
because it was the ShamWow guy.
Yes, he was.
Yeah.
Yes, he was.
I mean, listen, things happen.
Things happen, and before you know it, you've got a piece of a stripper's tongue in your mouth.
Right.
Oh no, wait, she bit down on his tongue because I don't know. It was a weird fucking entanglement that they got involved in.
Don't even get started with that,
bro. That is.
I'm not talking about it.
No, I don't want to talk about the situation. I just love that the word entangle, and all it's just become like the whole word has evolved now. Like, it no longer means whatever it meant before. I don't even know anymore. Because now when someone goes, "Oh yeah, I'm entangled," I'm like, "Oh, you're cheating on your wife." Like, what? No. Like, no, that's what it means now. That's what it means now because of the context that it got brought into this world. It was fantastic. I love it. And it makes me mad that because of COVID and everything else going on, that story didn't get bigger and that word hasn't become more of a
big
thing.
enough.
Big enough. Yeah, so no, we should definitely start doing that kind of stuff. We have the time on the road, and for the most part, we have a fair amount of misadventures out there. So a Breakfast Club TikTok wouldn't be the worst idea in the world.
Yeah. Well, we have it. We just don't
use it.
Oh, we don't
use it. Probably use it.
We don't use it enough.
Yeah.
You'd be surprised how often you're on it and you don't know it. No, I'm just kidding.
No.
I'm just kidding.
It's a fair statement because I'm pretty fucking oblivious.
I wouldn't abuse you for my own means. Who would? Why? What do you?
So when I sign up with TikTok, I'm gonna find out that there's a whole bunch about me I didn't know.
Or a whole bunch of people that are aware of you that you didn't know.
Speaking of shit that fucking sits on the internet forever, you forget about, or you don't, or you're just so oblivious to it. And I mentioned for you to bring it up.
I don't get to say what the fuck is a Gene Hoyle?
Yeah, what the fuck is a Gene Hoyle, right? And here's the thing. Here's the funny thing. Before I even start the story, I don't fucking remember at all. I remember.
Wait, you're gonna tell a story you don't remember?
No. So okay,
this is gonna be a quickie.
Yeah, it's not. This is not gonna be. It's not gonna take long. So,
well, it is because I'll probably have a question.
Yeah, in 2011, 2012,
which is 8 years ago?
I called in. About 8 years. I called in every weekly. My friend Martin Dunn and his friend Sean Talley had a podcast. I don't even remember the name of the podcast. That's how long this has been and how much I have forgotten about it. No offense, Martin. Which at this point he would agree with me. Like, yeah, that was so long ago. It's fucking just there was Con Artist something because it was part of his publishing company he had. Anyway, so and I would just call it and at the time I was at the height of my of wrestling. So I was brought in basically as my wrestling character Sean Prime just to talk shit. He literally told me when he started this, he goes, "I just want you to call in, say the most wild shit you can think of, Just talk just whatever. It doesn't matter. You are the heel, and just do whatever, and then we'll work around it. And I'm like, you sure, Martin? Because you like have a business, and if you and you like have interest in people and customers, and I'm like, you tell me. Here's the thing: if you tell me there's no like limit to what I can say or do, I'm getting us in trouble. Because I just switch off the safety in my brain, and I say a bunch of shit, and I don't like know.
Right, which is what we've
tried to avoid here.
Yeah, I've counseled you. Plus, you've gotten older.
I've gotten older, and I realize that words have consequences.
Maybe more medicated.
I just well, you know what? I don't want to deal with it anymore. I don't want to say something that's it's funny or whatnot, or maybe it's not funny, but I thought it was funny, and I want to amuse myself. And then everyone goes, oh, I just
how'd that go? How did that go?
Oh!
Okay.
I gonna sound clip that.
Yeah, maybe.
So I don't want to deal with it anymore. I want to deal with as few people in my day as possible. So, but back then I didn't give a shit. So he had this altercation, and for the life of me, I don't fucking remember any of that information. I just know that there was another podcast out there with two gentlemen that were in disagreement with Martin and his partner, and Martin had told me privately that they were scumbags or whatnot. And I was like, and that they were going to have them on air or something. And he goes, don't hold back. And I'm like, don't worry, I won't.
Oh, wait, he was going to have them on the air and then have you call in and just run them down?
Something like that, yeah.
But you didn't even know who they were?
No, I don't fucking know.
So what were you going to say about them?
Because he knows what I ask all the time, when someone goes, hey, Margaret, I need to talk some shit, I just go, well, give me something.
Okay.
And he's like, well, he survived an aneurysm like 4 months ago. And I'm like, oh, God couldn't kill him. All right, cool.
Oh, I already love this.
So
see, I wouldn't say that's off limits on this show.
So they brought me on, and for the life of me, and I actually asked him.
I think the only things we don't talk about are religion, politics, and we try not to talk about too much detail about work.
Yeah,
work's such a fuck show.
Yeah, but I asked him last night because it's like leap years. Every couple of years, man, I deal with this. So I asked him, like, bro, do you like have a copy of this podcast so I can effing remember what I'm either defending or not defending? Because I don't know anymore.
What, that stuff's not uploaded somewhere?
And he said he said his partner's the only one, but his partner is in Hollywood, and he's been a producer and a writer in smaller movie projects, working his way up. And he's like, if he's smart, as I hope he is, he's burned that shit long ago. And there's no evidence of it. And I'm like, no, it's better off that way then. No, good work. So I don't know. All I know is whatever I said, and I made fun of his aneurysm. And I made fun. And he was one of those little fucking simps who would go around and talk to cosplayers, pages and shit. And like there was things that made him a scumbag. So I just hit those targets like as hard as I could. Because when they brought me on, he goes, "Oh yeah, you're the misogynistic fucking you don't respect anybody, blah blah blah." And I know my eyes rolled back in my head like a great white shark, and I just fucking bit in on him, man. And it was good. It was good. You know how I know it was good, Ben? Because it's 8 fucking years later, and I'm still hearing about this shit.
Like, it's funny you're not getting attacked for it though.
Here's the best part. So that happened.
I do love that your boy Martin mentioned this whole thing as if it was being revisited on him, and of course he had to tag you and the other guy in it instead of just mentioning you. And why do you have to tag you?
Because I'm getting to that. So I don't remember,
like trying to drag you down.
I went crazy.
Yeah,
I went crazy, and then his partner said a few things, I think, and Martin always comes in. The three of us all together, we were formidable.
Well, because Martin was in
because the only other instance on his podcast that is like memorable is he had a feminist on one time, and I torched the living fuck out of her. I don't recall any of that conversation once in a while ever. All I remember is I got like legit like death threats for like 3 days from like this fucking like like band.
You realize that like you're kind of like married to a very delicate,
I know,
feministy.
I have
cosplay
changed.
person that you would have.
I'm not the same person I was in 2000
8 years ago. You would have lit a match.
I was a goddamn monster.
8 years ago, you would have lit a match and burned her to the ground.
yeah. No. Yeah, it's funny when people jump down like celebrities' throats. Are like, oh no, people don't change. But no, fucking people. If you're doing life right, you evolve.
Well, I saw Helms had a tweet the other day where someone that he went to school with or knew 12 years ago or whatever came up to him and Helms didn't remember him.
Yeah.
And the guy's like, "Oh man, you became this big star and you've changed." And Helms said, "Yeah, my answer was, I hope so."
Yeah. If you're doing it right, you're evolving as a human being every day.
I'm sorry to remember you, but yeah, I hope I've changed.
Yeah.
It's been 12 or 20 years.
Dude, if you're the same person you were in high school, bro, you like to start assessing. Something went wrong along the way. So, look, man, and I look back and am I going to apologize for anything I said? Nah, man, I'm not apologizing for none of that shit.
Well, you don't even remember what you said.
I don't even remember it, and I'm pretty sure you had it coming. But I'm not going to do any of that stuff nowadays. I'm just going to be like, yeah, whatever. And politely in my head, I'm going to burn you to the ground, smile, and go, that was good, move on with my life.
No, it's like when you baby face these people we deal with at work to death. And as soon as the truck door closes and we're in the truck,
it's just like that.
Motherfucking this,
motherfucker for 5 minutes, and you move on with your day. It's just therapy. But anyway, so like it was a whole thing. Everything got blamed on Martin. People just forgot I said these things. So, like, a few years after that happened...
Well, it's his show. It's his show.
I mean, ultimately, as that creator, you take responsibility.
And
he shook me like a fucking dog before he threw me out.
Listen, you were the gun. He pointed you and pulled the trigger.
I mean, I think I couldn't even remember Closer Contacts. All I know is I equated his not being able to die from an aneurysm as a fucking affront to God or something. I don't know what fucking I did. It was listen, it was good. It was good. It was good shit talking. I just don't fucking remember to save my life.
Well, it's good that someone's still... It still hurts for someone to sit down 8 years later.
Well, here's the thing. Here's the thing. It was him and his partner. And his partner, Gene Hoyle, who now is like an almost 60-year-old man.
Also, Gene Hoyle wasn't the guy you burned?
No, it was this other guy.
Oh.
So then a few years later, all this stuff came back around. And because
I vaguely remember it coming around. This whole thing seemed familiar.
Yeah.
But I didn't know any details of it.
Because I think they went to SuperCon. I think they did SuperCon because they had a booth or something like that. And I may have had actually a conversation with Broder about this. Like, hey, look, this is the thing. If you hear about it, this is what actually happened from my mouth. Just so you know, if anything, because Martin has always been outspoken and has not been afraid to like speak his mind about shit. So I was like, in case a thing becomes made, I want you to not be surprised if I get involved in it. And they're just looking for attention at that point. I mean, you could tell. Listen, from to this day, I know when I've really hurt somebody.
I mean, have you met this guy in person?
Never met him in person.
Oh, I thought maybe at the show.
I think the Gene Hoyle guy, I may have, like, Martin pointed him out in a crowd, and I went, that's Gene Hoyle? Like, oh, God. Like, oh, if only creation could create something fucking worse than that.
From the comic, it's from the
he's
comic
just,
convention
exactly,
industry.
Just a standard loser neckbeard. So, and I didn't think anything of it. Like, none of these guys were ever going to approach me about this shit, okay? They'll approach Martin because they know Martin, but no one knew who I was. I was Martin's friend. Yeah. And I was the guy that on the podcast would say the most ridiculous, horrendous fucking shit, man.
And in the conventions, you're the guy in a mask.
I'm a guy dressed as Cobra Commander, talking all kinds of shit. Right. And then, I was thinking about that the other day.
Talking shit and wrestling.
I was thinking back, like, some of the things I said as Cobra Commander to other, like, cosplayers, especially in the early days. But that would have put me on some list.
But that's now. Like in but there's that thing where, like, if everyone's in on it, like if you're going, like, pretend it was like you're you're specifically walking up to you and asking to be roasted by Cobra Commander, then you get what you get, you know, and you're excited to be insulted, even if it somewhere in there you're crying inside because it hit home. Oh, you know what I mean?
I know I hurt a lot of people.
Weren't we one year going to set up a
insult booth or something like that? Yeah, I think we were.
And it was gonna be like pay you $2 to say mean things about you, and we figured we'd at least make a couple hundred out of that. Listen, if Fatso made like
$400,
$400 arm wrestling people,
that was the best. That was the best. After that first day,
he dressed like
fucking arm hurt.
Was he dressed like
Bane
or Wreck-It Ralph?
No, that was Bane. I think when he did Wreck-It,
he was way too fat of a piece of shit to be Bane. Sorry, I don't care. He was too fat.
He made like,
I indulged some of these guys way too much.
He made like 400 or 500. You know what though? I will say this: Dash was one of the guys that really bought into the cosplay portion of what we were trying to do with FCW.
It's fun, sure, whatever.
I'm
just saying.
Yeah.
I'm just saying. He was way too fat to be Bane.
Back in those days, I don't think we had much of a choice. Those were the early days of like you and I, like the first 2 shows, because because the ring was still in the main room. Yeah. It hadn't been moved yet. Like none of our stuff really took off until it got moved in its own little room.
Right.
But yeah, so then it died down. And then a few years later, Martin hit me up again about it. Like, hey, they're talking about the shit again. And I'm like, God damn, man. Do good insults last that long? Like, holy shit. Like, what did I say? Because now I need to know. I need to write it down. Because apparently it's magic.
Because maybe I could recycle it for other things.
Something, man. I'm like, because when he hit me back, and then now 3 days later, it's again, and Martin has all the blame. Everyone blames Martin for this, and since no evidence exists anymore, it's his word against everybody else's.
All they know is Martin said it.
The first 3 times I went on, I tagged Gene. I'm like, bro, I'm the one who told you to die. I'm the one who called you a fat piece of human fucking garbage. I meant it then. I meant it now. I'm the one you need to go after. Come at me, bro.
Oh no, because
I got a list of dates. Show up at any show. Why would have a conversation?
Why would he come at the big muscle guy when he could go after the fat little dumpy guy?
I fucking.
No offense, Martin. But you're a fat little dumpy guy compared to Mark.
Well, listen, Mark can hold his own. No shit. I mean, it didn't make any sense to me because it was just like they just wanted to burn him, and they still just want to burn him. And like now, all Martin does is make music. He makes punk music out of his garage in Ohio. Like he couldn't be any more far removed from fucking the whole scene. I mean, I think he does a little bit of comic stuff here and there, but like his discretion in choosing whenever he creatively wants to. He doesn't he's not part of the scene anymore. Why do you attack him? It'd be like us just attacking the homeless guy under the bridge. Like, why are you attacking that guy?
Well, if he originally did me dirty, maybe I'd still hold a grudge.
It's fucking.
I mean, I wouldn't randomly pick someone, but
do you know?
But Martin isn't randomly being picked.
So he sent me.
There was an entanglement at one time.
There was an entanglement, but Martin's portion and Martin's involvement in that entanglement, other than whatever else was going on between the two of them.
No, he
my words.
Yeah, but he loaded, pointed, and fired that gun.
Yeah,
you were just the gun,
and I didn't give a living fuck what I said.
You were just the gun.
I remember one time on a writing site, my friend tried to start like a news site and do opinion pieces, and he's like, "Hey man, just do an opinion piece on because at the time when I was like big into sports, I have a thing, and my thing is I fucking can't stand when a moment in sports happens, a grand moment in sports, and instead of letting the players like soak in what this accomplished, some fucking whore is just sitting there with a fucking microphone sticking it in their face, asking them how they feel. That shit really gets to me. It still does, but again, I'm older and I don't care. But back then, he's like, hey, why don't you write an opinion piece about that? And I'm like, bro, I don't really think the rest of America shares my opinions and views on this kind of thing. And again, it's like, no, man, it's okay. We're behind you. And I'm like, you're trying to make money with this, man. All right, cool. And I wrote the thing, and sure enough, the site got shut down 3 weeks later.
Congratulations.
Because the owner was a woman, and she did not have anything for it. And then his buddy tries to blame me. I'm like, you go talk to our boy, because he almost forced my hand in the matter. And, so, that was old Marco. New Marco doesn't want to involve himself in that horse shit. Newmarco wants the Breakfast Club to start making money so we don't have to have real jobs.
Don't get me started about real jobs.
So, yeah, it's just crazy now. Like every 4 years now, it's gonna come up, and as time goes on more and more, I'm gonna forget more and more. So now it's gonna be some dude who's really old shaking a fucking middle finger at me. I'm like, bro, I don't even know what to do with you, bro.
Well, you were saying like you were basically being your wrestling character.
Yeah.
Speaking of wrestling characters, I think you need to just start warming the vocal cords back up, because I think that's if you don't want to be working for a living anymore, if you want to just kick it back and do Mai Tais and watch me fold T-shirts all day for you,
TikTok Cobra Commander,
dude, let's do it.
Think I have to.
Let's do it.
I have to fix the mask.
Let's do it.
I have to find new fabric for the mask. I think I'll have to get it out.
Just find it if it's still okay.
Like a bad, like a street level like superhero. The costume still hangs in my closet everywhere I go. Yeah. I always have it on me.
Yeah.
But the mask, I pretty much just display.
My Iron Fist costume's hanging in my closet right there.
It's a fine costume, by the way.
It was all right. It doesn't fit right now. I got to get back into fighting shape for October.
Gotta get back in street fight shape.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just the voice. Like, I might have to start watching some videos of how to properly train your voice. Because that was only with the Cobra voice. Like, we'd get a fucking first day into the con, and I'm drinking hot tea like it's the cure.
You would blow your vocal cords out by the first night, and we had 4 nights of shows.
Because the thing about those shows were, like, we waited 2 or 3 or 4 months.
But you got to remember also we were doing other things. Down the road, we were doing other things where you were dressed up and doing the character. So
doing all the game shows we did, those dating shows were still so, especially the ones at the con. The ones at the con, because everyone in the room, the energy was so high.
And again, like it was like they knew what you're getting into, so you would abuse these people.
Oh, it was so great. It was. There's nothing better. And maybe people listening will never understand this, but there's nothing better than having that kind of freedom where people are expecting you just to unload on them. And in fact, they'll get mad if you don't. They'll feel disappointed if they don't get the full experience. And at first, yeah, you got a little bit of morality. You're like, oh man, should I say this stuff? After a while, though, you don't give a fuck. You're like, you look at the person, you're like, all right, watch this.
Well, especially
3 tears off the first word.
Especially since you're wearing a mask, so it's like they're going to be able to find you later, pop you on the shoulder, and go, "Excuse me, sir. I take offense to your stand-up comedy." You know.
I remember one time, and this was real early on, and this is one of the few times where I look back on, I legitimately felt bad about this, knowing the cosplay scene now, like I do now, as opposed to what I did then. But I remember some fucking some cosplayer walked up to me, and she was she was a little hefty.
Do we know this person?
No, she was random. This was
because we know a lot of fat cosplayers.
No, this was just a fucking attendee. This is nobody within our circle. It's just an attendee. I like a random guy. She's like, "Hi, Wonder Woman," and I'm in full gear. I'm walking around with one of the Baronesses. I can't remember. We're doing it. Actually, you know what? This was MegaCon. Who was Baroness at that time? Fuck if I remember. But
we went through this, right? It's
like 4 or 5 Baronesses with the tenure.
Yeah.
And one of them, rest in peace. At least one I know of.
Hey, 4 out of 5 are still alive. That's probably. It's not like it's a cursed position.
One of them ended up doing one that I know of ended up doing porn.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's like a weird like whole side story in itself. But anyway, back to the story.
One's wrestling on AEW next week.
Yeah. So there you go. So it's all over the realm.
It's good and the bad.
My Baronesses are like 50-50 on successful life experience.
One married you, so
one married
we're back
me.
to bad.
But yeah, I noticed some hefty cosplayers like, I'm Wonder Woman, and I'm like, how many spandex cows did it take to make that shit? And I just like I said it. She did that whole ha 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 and walked away. And I remember whoever vague Baroness going like, that was a little mean. And I would go, what do you expect? And I just brushed it off, and years later I think about it back, and I'm like, oh man,
you're still thinking about it. So
like,
you know it was bad.
I know it was bad, and I do apologize for that. That's one of the few times where I spoke and I went, no, that was no, you shouldn't have said that. Should not have said that. And I do apologize for that. However, Aneurysm Boy should die again. So, oh, that was the best part about that whole story. So Gene's friend was the one with the aneurysm. Many years later, Gene also had an aneurysm.
Oh, you did.
and I don't know if I ever got my shot in on that.
Would you like to take it now?
Like he's ever gonna listen to this?
Do you want to walk out of the room and come back in as Sean Prime and start talking about Gene's
like at this point, I don't want to give my boy Martin any grief. But like if I ever met Gene Hoyle in person and he pointed me out, was like, "You're the guy to talk to all this shit," and I'll just be like, "It's God's mistake you survived that aneurysm, you sick sack of shit. Yeah. Fuck you." So that's all.
You're right. It was me.
Yeah,
I'm right here.
It was me It was me, Austin.
It was me all the time.
So yeah, don't. So if you are ever going to listen to this, Gene, stay off fucking Martin. He's just enjoying his punk music and his kids.
Come talk to Marco.
Yeah, come talk to me. We'll set an appointment. You can bury me and take me down all you want.
You could come to the studio.
Yeah, you can't get.
I'll get a third chair.
Squeeze all the stones you want, buddy. Ain't no fucking blood water coming out of those motherfuckers. I got nothing you can take, man. It's fucking awful. It's fucking awful. People just can't let go of shit. But anyway, so yeah, if we want to start doing like Cobra Commander stuff, maybe now's a good time for me to start that. But man, that voice is so rough. After the first day, I would just be like, oh, god damn it.
Well, we just come up with the ideas for like 4 or 5 of them, bang them out.
Yeah.
And you just put them out like every 3 days or every other day or something. And if we get a decent response, then we'll keep going.
I think what are TikToks? 15 seconds?
No, you can go longer than 15 seconds. TikToks can be a minute, can be a minute and a half, can be whatever. They're just generally shorter. It's not like you're going to read the Odyssey on there.
I think the smart bet is to start small with that kind of stuff, like 15, 30. Like, listen, after I think wild raving madness out of Cobra Commander for like 30 seconds at a time will build up quite the audience, because
honestly,
I say some funny shit sometimes.
Sometimes
I say some shit where we're like, we're not going to post that.
Yeah, we're not. I think three times over the course.
We can never go live.
We can.
I can't trust myself.
Well, I wouldn't trust you either. We would probably pay for it, but it would be. But we could. Yeah. But I mean, I've only had to bleep you once or twice since we've done this whole thing.
I've been censored. I've been silenced. My voice has been.
That's why you're still here.
You'll be here.
If we couldn't.
You'll be here for my representation.
All right.
I will never be silenced.
You almost lapsed into the voice.
Almost. I was like leaning back, yawning at the same time.
So, yeah, I think we can do something. I don't know. We'll figure it out. Oh, no.
Yeah, see, it's raspy. It comes off more like a bad fucking Mark Hamill Joker.
It doesn't even have to be that good. It doesn't matter.
I expect perfection out of myself, sir.
My God.
If it's not Christopher Latta, we can't do this.
Yeah. Well, we'll set up a place to shoot.
Yeah.
And we'll figure it out.
Let's just wait till springtime.
Why?
Bro, I put that costume on and walk outside. I'm dead before I hit the fucking car door.
Well, why would you go anywhere? Do it in an air-conditioned environment, you idiot.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense.
All right. What else you got?
I don't fucking have anything, man.
Well, then we're going to end on that.
I woke up today, all right? That's a fucking... That's all you get.
A milestone in itself. A year from now, we'll make a cake of commemorating it.
All right. Keep your straws plastic nice and thick. And fuck you, 7-Eleven.